Yo, what's up, Cancer? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of November 2018. Cancer, I'd say that if you're single, you have a lot of options this month. You have the King of Wands, which is right at the center of your reading. And if you're not familiar with tarot reading, then you probably don't know that it doesn't matter about the gender on the card. It's all about the suit. And this is the suit of wands. So this is somebody who is a Sagittarius. This is somebody, for some of you, who's a Leo. This is somebody who's an Aries, maybe, for some of you. So if you're single, it's possible that a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo might be a central focus in your life in the month of November 2018. Now, that's not it. You also have a Knight of Cups and a Page of Cups. So, for some of you, potentially you're looking at the suit of cups is somebody who is a Scorpio, potentially, maybe another Cancer. For some of you, could be a Pisces. So I'm seeing, for you single Cancers, I'm seeing either a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, or, maybe a Scorpio, another Cancer, or a Pisces. Now, I'm also seeing an Aquarius, because you have the star card, and the star card is indicative of an Aquarius. So, I'm not saying all Cancerians have an Aquarius as one of the options out of all these options that you have in your life, but potentially some of you do. So, in the month of November 2018, you're going to maybe, you're going to have to figure out, who you're really supposed to be with. And, ultimately the universe is going to put you with who you're supposed to be with. So you don't want to overthink it, because really you're just going to end up being with whoever you click with most naturally. Now, if you're coupled up already, it's like one of these options is, it's probably the person who you're already with. So, and if you're coupled up, Cancer, I don't really see any sort of issues with your relationship in the month of November 2018. I think, for those of you Cancerians who are coupled up, I think that, November should be a very positive time for your relationship. So, some of you are with Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries already. A few others of you are with the fellow suit of cups. It would be some of you are already with a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, potentially. A very select few of you may be already with an Aquarius. And there is some emphasis on the Sagittarius, though, too, because you do have the Temperance card in the reverse there. So, the Temperance card, the Star card is indicative of an Aquarian, and the Temperance card is indicative of a Sagittarian. The Temperance card is in the reverse, though. So, it's like maybe there's something that is there that's inhibiting you from being with this Sagittarius for some reason. Or maybe one of you likes the other more, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really like a reciprocated or mutual attraction, or maybe it is, or there's just might be something that's inhibiting you from, fully being able to make the connection, or it's just a delay. Like, maybe potentially you are able to make the connection with this person, but it's just not ready to happen yet. And that makes total sense, because Mercury is going to be retrograding starting on November 16th, and it's going to continue to retrograde until December 6th. So that is indicative of some kind of delay potentially. So it's not that you can't start a new relationship with somebody, Cancer, but don't get frustrated if it doesn't happen while Mercury's retrograding. Following the Mercury retrograde may be a better time to start something, but I'm not saying that it can't happen while Mercury is retrograding. You have the new moon on November 7th, which is great energy for your love life. This is very new energy for your love life. So, those of you who are single, I'm not going to get your hopes up. I'm not guaranteeing you that, someone is good. The way a new moon works is it hits on November 7th, and then the 6 months that follow November 7th, now all of a sudden, there's some new developments taking shape in your love life, potentially for some of you. So, this is the time, the next 6 months is the time to form a new love alliance with somebody, Cancer, if that's what you want to do. If you are coupled up already, this just means new developments within your existing love alliance that will occur in the 6 months that follow the new moon on November 7th, Cancer. And, like I said, for those of you coupled up Cancers, I'm not saying that, I don't really see there's no indication of any issue in your love. Like, I feel like November is going to be a good month for your love life if you're in a relationship. You should appreciate and value the person who you're with. If for some reason there are a handful of you out there, Cancerians, who, maybe you really, you're not that happy with whoever you're with love-wise, then, it's up to you if you want to make a change in your love life. And, if that's really what you're going to do, then you should take advantage of the energy of the new moon on November 7th, because that's going to give you an opportunity to have a new chapter in your love life. So, for those of you Cancerians who are coupled up and things are going well, the 6 months that follow the new moon on November 7th is a great time to start, thinking about the next steps potentially. If you've been with somebody for a while, but you're not engaged, you might want to start think about making it more official soon, Cancer. If you've been with someone for a long time and you're really happy with this person, you really should start thinking about next steps. If you're engaged already, the 6 months that follow the new moon on November 7th, great time to start thinking about possible marriage for some of you guys. Now, you don't have to rush into anything because you have, like I said, Mercury's retrograding. There are some delays that are happening. You got the Three of Wands in your reading for the month of November 2018. And, this is totally indicative of some kind of delays in your life. You have the Queen of Wands at the top of your reading. And, this is a card that's very much about exuberance. It's someone in your life they're just radiant, they're vibrant, and somebody who's very beautiful potentially for some of you. And this just could be anybody. I know it falls within the suit of wands, and like I said, it doesn't matter about the gender of the card, but there is a focus for some of you guys. Regardless if it's has to do with your love life or not, maybe this is somebody else in your life. Maybe this is another important person in your life. Potentially they could be a Leo. Potentially they could be a Sagittarius or an Aries. So, if you're thinking of your love life and you're not associating those signs with your love life, then, potentially these are other people in your life. Same with the star card. If the star card is not, somebody who's, a potential love interest in your life, it could be some other important Aquarius in your life, potentially Cancer. And, the star card is one about hope and inspiration and spirituality. So, some of you are becoming more spiritual. And, this is consistent with, there's going to be a full moon on November 23rd. And this full moon has to do with spirituality in your life, Cancer. So, some of you really are becoming fascinated by, well, I'd like to say that, particularly if you're watching this video, this full moon is more about something that has a divinatory purpose. So, for example, you're watching tarot reading. So, some of you are getting more into tarot reading. Some of you like astrology, maybe. Some of you like numerology. Like I said, if you're watching this video, you're probably fitting in with that. And, for those Cancerians who are who don't fit in with that, who are not watching this video. Potentially this is some other facet of spirituality. Now, this full moon is it's more introspective too. So, after the full moon on November 23rd, some of you guys might need to get some rest. I mean, maybe you just haven't had a time recently where you could really get some good rest. So, some of you might want to focus on that a little bit more following the full moon that's going to happen on November 23rd. And I just want to jump back to the new moon real quick. So November 7th, the new moon, if this really doesn't have anything to do with your love life, then this new moon is more about it's about creativity. Some of you are going to be creatively inspired. Some of you are artists. You channel your art through different forms, depending on what kind of artist you are. But, this new moon on November 7th really could have some of you feeling creatively inspired. Now, you do have the Hierophant crossing your reading for the month of November 2018. And I feel that with this card in a challenge position like that, it's like, some of you are pretty good at something, and maybe it's like you want other people to follow suit, like you want them to do things the way that you're doing it because you think it's really effective and works really well, but they might not really be that receptive of it potentially, maybe. Or maybe some of you think you're really good at something. I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but some of you might really think you really are really great at something, and you want people to do things your way, but potentially, once again, maybe whoever you're trying to teach or convey the message to, maybe they don't want to do it your way potentially. And if that's not the case for you guys, then this is just you, you don't want to fit within a structured way of doing something. There might be a process that's set in place, like a way that that someone wants you to do something, but you're just that has to do with who you are, Cancer. I mean, you're a cardinal sign, so you're like a trailblazer. You make your own path. So it's like, when someone says, hey, you should do it this way, you're kind of like, well, I kind of want to do it my own way. And that's just your nature. Cardinal sign, when I say cardinal sign, if you're not familiar with astrology, there's 4 cardinal signs in the zodiac. So the cardinal signs are Cancer, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, and those are the signs who tend to, they want to do things their own way. So, and that's very King of Wand energy, because you have that King of Wands as the center of it's your central energy for this month. So, King of Wands, if that's not somebody important in your life who's Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, and that that could be from any facet of someone from any facet of your life, then this is you exuding those qualities, Cancer. I mean, you are the King of Wands. Qualities are charisma. You have the vision. You're someone, in the King of Wands has to do with adventurousness, and some of you might be feeling a little bit more adventurous in the month of November 2018. And this is also inspirational energy. So King of Wands is very inspirational. So some of you might be inspiring others throughout the month of November 2018. Now, you do have the 8 of Coins in the reverse. So some of you guys are very conscientious about what you do in your line of work, but you have to remember that if it becomes perfectionism, that perfection, it's great to do quality work, Cancer, but if you focus too much on that perfectionism, then sometimes it creates inefficiency, and you don't want to do that. So you want to have a nice balance. It's like, yeah, you want to do quality work, but at the same time, you want to be resourceful and you want to be efficient. Now, you do have the Temperance card in the reverse there, and I'm not saying that some of you are, you have something in your life where it's like you're a little bit, there's a little bit excess there, a little bit excessive about something. And, I'll just give you an example. It's like, if you like to drink wine, this is just one example. If you like to drink wine, that's fine. But, a bottle of wine is to be shared between you and other people. Don't drink the whole bottle of wine to yourself. Okay. So some of you might have something in your life where it's done excessively. And that's not good. So there needs to be an adjustment made there if that's right. I'm not saying that's the case for all of you, but if there's any of you who have that something in your life that you do excessively, then you need to maybe work on that a little bit. And temperance card in the reverse, I'd say some of you are a bit impatient. It's like, it goes back to that cardinal sign energy, Cancer, Aries, Libra, Capricorn. It's like, sometimes it's like you want things to happen right away. But, you have to have patience, Cancer. So, if you have your heart set on something, then, just know that it might take time to come to fruition. Once again, you got Mercury, which is going to be retrograding throughout the month of November 2018. And some of you are not getting enough sunlight for some reason in the month of November 2018. So I don't know. That could be dependent on where you live potentially. So, maybe some of you are just spending too much time indoors and you don't get much sunlight in your living space. Or, maybe others of you, if you live in because you have the sun card in the reverse. I mean, maybe some of you live in the northern hemisphere and, the sun card in the reverse would suggest, the sun is not going to be as powerful as it usually is in the month of November. The temperature's starting to go down. Now, the outcome for the month of November 2018 for you, Cancer, is the Knight of Cups in the upright. And that is a great energy to have because that's you, Cancer. So, it's either one or the other. So for some of you, the outcome is, it's potentially a Scorpio. It's potentially another Cancer. It's potentially a Pisces, and I'd say that applies directly to those of you, if you're single, somebody who is the Suit of Cups within the Suit of Cups is, they really mesh with you naturally, Cancer. Whoever this is, could be a Scorpio, could be another Cancer, could be a Pisces. If you're in a relationship, maybe you're in a relationship already with a Scorpio, with a Cancer, with another Cancer, with a Pisces. And, it's a very positive outcome because the card is showing up in the upright for this reading as the outcome. Now, if that's not the case, if you're not with, somebody who's a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, then this is you, Cancer. That's great to have the Knight of Cups as your outcome for the month of November 2018 because the Knight of Cups is someone who is charming. The Knight of Cups is someone who is imaginative. Like I said, some of you guys are really creative people and, your imagination is very powerful and that's good for creativity. So that's a great energy to finish the month with, Cancer. But I think that's all I have for you this month. And if you've enjoyed this forecast, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram as Gregory Furlan Astrology. So if you like to read daily astrology, make sure to give me a follow there. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.